A number of whites that I've interviewed feel like you're a horrific example of affirmative action in as far as your qualifications to be the director of public safety. They feel like this was one of the mayor's worst examples of affirmative action that they've ever seen. How do you respond to that?
I don't need to. There are people who are always going to not like me or something that I have done. But I will tell you by department the things that I have done that are much different than anybody else who served in this position before me. For example, for years, liquor stores, bars, taverns were able to operate any way they wanted to in this city. And neighbors were in fear. What I said when I came on board to the excise commissioner was, we're getting ready to change that. We're going to be much more aggressive with shutting down bars, taverns, nightclubs that are causing problems in neighborhoods. And one of the things I did is I asked the excise commissioner, you give me a list a month in advance of every entity that has a liquor license. I will then review it with what I know is going on in the community. I will then give it to my neighborhood stabilization officers, of which there's 26, there's now 27 of them. And they will review it. And they will make that list accessible to the neighborhood associations. When they think that there's a problem, they are to proactively begin to galvanize that neighborhood against that liquor store or tavern owner so that we can pull their license. No director did that. I also did the same thing with the health department, because there are these pseudo restaurants and these pseudo eating establishments that have lost their health permit and should not be operating. And so we give that information after I review it over to the neighborhood stabilization officers and say, if you see this establishment operating, you need to go in and tell them, I know that you should not be operating and you should make sure that they're shut down. No other public safety director did that. None.